am the eternal spirit of this great land of Bharat. I have watched over this great swath of humankind over the eons, and am the sole repository of the story of this great civilization. The year 1971 saw the convergence of events that would, in this land of Bharat, result in conflict, strife, and hardship. Yet, it would also see the dawn of a new nation, an event unique in the annals of the history of this proud and ancient land. Thus did you, O people of Bharat, more especially those who proudly, men and women, wore the uniforms of the Indian Armed Forces in those fateful days, fulfilling their dharma or duty in the service of Bharat and their fellow beings. They made the supreme sacrifice of their own lives and unhesitatingly shed their blood, sweat, and tears to defend and protect the lives and rights of others. Duty, honor, country, these three hallowed words are the beacon that inspires the armed forces. Come now, listen to my story. Celestially possibly, the planetary configurations at the dawn of 1971 bode ill for Indo-Pakistan relations that commenced on a contentious note with the hijacking to Lahore of an Indian Airlines aircraft. This sensitive issue, though later resolved through negotiations, was in tandem with a growing public insurrectional movement commenced in East Bengal, the eastern wing of Pakistan. Defying the Pakistan national election results of 1970, wherein the East Bengal Awami Party, under the charismatic leadership of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, swept the polls and were being denied their political and developmental aims, now sought total independence as a separate Bengali state and a severance from West Pakistan, even as the situation begat escalating armed violence on both sides. Thus was the stage set for a possible Indian intervention to assist in the process of the creation of an independent Bengali nation to be carved out of the erstwhile dominion of Pakistan. Armed political conflict involving the Pakistan army acting brutally against the East Bengal populace led to a mass migration of almost 10 million traumatized people seeking refuge in neighboring Indian territory. This imposed a humongous burden on India, and therefore the Indian Army, under the redoubtable General SHFJ Manekshaw Military Cross, unobtrusively and purposefully planned for a possible Indian military intervention whilst awaiting the first winter snows to close the high Himalayan mountain passes, thus effectively negating any possible Chinese pressure from the Tibetan plateau. This time frame also enabled the political leadership to successfully negotiate the Indo-Soviet Treaty of Peace, Friendship and Cooperation of August 1971, which in effect provided India with the backing of a superpower as a counterpoise against the then prevailing United States-Pakistan alignment. The Western theatre has always been the deciding theatre in all Indo-Pakistan conflicts. The Western theatre stretched from Kashmir in the north down to the Run of Kutch, a traverse of approximately 3,000 kilometers. Within this compass, the Indian Army's main area of concern lay within the Ravi-Chenab corridor, since in all probability in this area would be located the Pakistan Army Reserve that would have to be hit hard if India sought to inflict optimum attrition on Pakistan. By early October 1971, India had completed concentrating its troops for defensive action along the Western Front. One corps, the strike element of Western Command, concentrated in the Dinanagar Pathankot Samba region. Though the Pakistan Air Force had attacked the Indian Air Force airfields on 3rd December 1971, it was only on 8th December, after successfully thwarting a dangerous Pakistani thrust in the Chamb area, aimed at severing our arterial communications in Jammu and Kashmir, that India launched its winter offensive. In an effort to draw the Pakistan I Corps into battle and pose a threat to the Pakistan areas of Zafarwal, Dhamtal, Shakkargarh and the flank of Sialkot, where the Indian strike elements crossed the Ravi River in the Dinanagar salient on the night of 8-9 December 1971. Pitched armor and infantry engagements together with artillery duels ensued all along the line, principally along the course of the Basantar and Bain rivulets. Though the Indian advance was temporarily halted by the Pakistan minefields, Pakistan suffered the loss of some 50 or more tanks, numerous wheeled vehicles, and stood evicted from approximately 240 square kilometers of Pakistan territory northwest of Dera Sahib, Kartarpur alone. Fortuitously also, there was no dearth of supreme battlefield gallantry going hand in hand with chivalry, as the desperate Basantar battle saw two gallant Indian Army personnel, Second Lieutenant Arun Khetrapal of the Armored Corps and then Major Hoshiar Singh of the Grenadier Regiment being awarded the coveted Param Veer Chakra, Khetrapal posthumously. It was in the Western Theatre that the magnificent Indian Air Force thereafter flew some 4,000 sorties in support of ground troops and came into their own in the aerial defense of the Srinagar airfield, winning a posthumous Param Veer Chakra awarded to Flying Officer Nirmal Jeet Singh Sekhon, who almost single-handed, flying a diminutive Nat fighter jet, effectively engaged 6 attacking Pakistan Sabre jet aircraft before being himself shot down. In the areas of Fazilka and Hosseiniwala, though, some hard-fought local engagements took place. Further south, India achieved a major advantage when it penetrated some 80 kilometers deep into the desert with its special forces in the Chachro area and was in a position to impose a threat to Pakistan military assets located in and around Badin. By the time the ceasefire was announced, approximately 13,000 square kilometers of Pakistan territory in Sindh had been cleared.